this is we have the CSS file. Okay, in the CSS file, these are the classes basically, the class names. Okay, that is the app link, app header. Okay, like that you can use these classes, class name here as a variables. So suppose I'm going to implement some logic here, like that. If I'm going to create a first const flag, set flag, state. Okay, I'm setting as a false. Now I'm setting the if flag equals to false. And I'm putting I'm also using a one variable which will contain my class, set my class state. By default it is suppose blank, and I'm passing that. If it is false, then set my class. And here suppose I'm going to pass any of the class name which is available here. Else I'm passing this. Sorry. Set my class. Now the class name, suppose I'm going to change to another one. Writing another class. Now you can use this my class variable inside your any. Suppose I'm going to create a here. Okay, with a div and class name is this one, and this is my div. So whatever you have written in your class, it will implement according to that. So this is a color. Color means your font color. Now I'm going to make the app.js file as runnable.
Can you go to the JS ones, app.js?
Okay.
app.js. So here, if you see, employee is line number 28 or movie, 25 movie container. These are calling here.
25. Okay.
Employees, yeah. Suppose movie container or employee we are calling here, right? So from here, can we pass any custom class name or custom style to employee? Can you go to employee once?
Employee.
Employee
Okay.
HTML content, what it is there, we'll see.
1 second.
Or,
Employee. This one.
okay, scroll down. This is yeah. See, so if you have a HTML here, right, from 58. Okay, so in 58 you are passing some style. I mean, giving a static style, display flex. Okay. Instead of that, from employee where we are calling, can we pass any style or class name to take it up?
Yes, you can pass the. So there are the two things basically. You can use directly the CSS here, or you can pass the CSS, the CSS or the class name from the parent. Okay, so it will be like a, if you want to use these things, then you need to make a child for that. Basically, here in the app, okay. So here in app, you need to provide a child. Okay, in this child, you need to set the uh, set the CSS basically. So how you can do that? So here, this is my the employee. Okay, and in this employee, if you want to pass the data, the CSS directly from here, then you can pass the where as a variable. So my class, you can pass the directly from here as a props. Okay,
Okay.
but in yeah, as a props, and you can get that class name directly in your employee name because it is a simple variable, and you are using a variable to store the class names.
Mm, can you show an example like passing a style and passing a class name?
Okay, so here suppose you are want to pass the class name, then uh, suppose is my cs equals to, and here my class name. Okay, so you are passing the variable of your the class name, which is containing the class name here. Now saving that, and here employee.js, you can receive that as a prop. So you need to use the props, and you can see that here I am using console.log and props dot the name what you have given here, then I need to use that. So you will see that I will receive a class name whatever I have fixed them here. I am getting from, I am also getting in my employee.js.
Okay.
Okay, so like that you can pass the class names one side to another side. So it is up to you basically. So here you wants to do that, you can make a condition on the same component, or you can make a condition of your the parent component. Okay,
Okay.
on
Well,
the
once
both
you pass the props, in the props we will pass that, and we will use that variable there in the CSS we will define in the child, right?
child, right?
So that name, the same name we have to pass from parent, the
Yeah,
props.
same name should be there.
Oh,
Same
okay.
name should be there because you have the CSS, and this is a CSS contains the same name of the classes.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
It's okay.
Is there any way
And
like you
and
can
another
pass the
one
style?
more and one
Yeah.
more thing, if you wants to make a condition on the condition basis of the styling, then you can use that here. Suppose I have another one second example. I have another div, and here I will need to make a style. Okay, in this style I can implement the conditions also. Means the flag equals to true, then we can set the any of the style here. Okay, like a color or something like that. So for this here, if you are using this one, then we need to use variables. The variables contains the object of your conditions of your the CSS files basically. CSS like that, like the const my object equals to. So here you need to set the that is a color is suppose it is red. Okay, so here C should be a capital. Okay, so like that, and you can pass this object directly here. So you can also set the conditional inline styling, and here not. You can pass the conditional styling here. Okay, like that. If you wants
Yes.
to make a condition directly conditional here, we have make a condition on the top. If you don't want, then you can simply the class name here, and here you need to pass your conditions basically. So you can pass your conditions direct like others, so you can pass the conditions also.
Correct. You can also
Okay,
load the HTML elements based on conditions. No?
exactly,
Uh,
exactly,
uh,
exactly. Exactly. If you are doing your logics inside of your HTML part, then
hmm,
it will loading on it. So basically, the conditions are going to execute
yeah,
with the HTML
correct,
also.
correct.
Before that, if you are using this one, then these things will be execute during the execution of your code, and they will the execution of code. The DOM will decide that which HTML are going to represent. So if there is only the variable, so it will show the variable values directly here, not the conditions. Okay, so that we need to perform our activity before the HTML rendering. It is a very good practice. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, fine. And the another part of your question is one second here. Passing custom label or value list to the React component. Yes, the custom label means the value basically. So the value you can pass through the parameters, the props, that is easily. We have already covered the list. We have passed the list from one component to another component. Means list means the data set. Okay, you can pass the data set by using the props. There is no issue with that.
I want an example based out of button, right? So,
Button,
like, yeah,
button means.
suppose in a component I have only one button
Uh-huh.
defined. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and that is the component name would be my button, and we are calling my button in the app.js. Okay. We are
Uh-huh.
calling based on some condition if we can pass the label of button and set it in the uh, my button.
Yes, yes. So that in this case, there are the two things basically. We have covered yesterday also. Uh, that is a callback. Okay. So I show the example what we have written. 1 second. This one. So here we are going to pass the function. Okay. So that function we need to pass to as a prop. So we are going to pass this type of function as a prop to my the component where the button is available. Okay, so how we can do that? I'm writing here as the sample code with you. So suppose I have the component that is the xyz. Okay, in this xyz I have a button. Now I am going to pass the method first. Okay, so my button click, I am passing this method. That method is uh, on button click. Okay, so I am passing this method directly as my component. First of all, the second thing, I need to create a state, the const, which will contain my label value set label value, and use state. Initial state, I am setting the blank. Okay, now I am going to update this label on the button click event. Here I am setting the value of my label hello, and I'm going to pass this variable as a prop also within the my label. Okay, so you have passed here the two things, the label value and the button. Initial value of your label is blank. Okay, and these things two things are passing in the your components. Okay, so here in your component you are using the button. In button, on the click event you are using that method, whatever method you are getting from your um, the parent components. So that if you have, I suppose I am using these things and I am passing inside of this, then how we can do that? Instead of that, I will pass them comma and this one. Okay, in this case I don't want to pass this one. Okay, and if you are directly pass the props, then you need to pass this one, but here we are using the provider, that's why it is using this one. Okay. Mm. Okay, I will show you in a different way. Okay. Let's see what component is currently running. I'm removing these things right now. Let's see which component is currently working. Okay, this one. Okay. Exos. Okay. I'm going to create another component inside. My child .js const my child equals to this return diff child. And here I am calling this child. Let's see it is showing here or not. Okay, it is available here. Now I'm going to create a one button inside of this one. And I'm going to show a label div on click get label value const get label value okay and return hello. This is a very simple thing we have created here. My label child button, click on click because we need to make a state const my label set my label equals to use state initial value it is blank my label set my label set my label and we need to use this label here. It is blank child label, it is hello. Okay, but now I want to get this value from my parent. on the button click event. So I'm going to create a method const my child button and here I'm using another const to state label value set label value use state blank or I can pass the from parent. And here I need to set label value hello from parent. Now here I need to pass label value, okay, and I'm using this my child as a props. And whatever value I'm getting from here, I'm trying to show here the props dot pass label. Okay, saving that. So it is a from parent. So you can see the from parent is passing as a label. Now what we are doing? We are going to pass a own child click. Okay, here my child button. I'm using this, and here in my child, this is my on click event. Here are the two ways you can directly pass them here, or you can use that props dot. This is a function. You can call that. So you can click on this one, and you can see that hello from parent. So now you are getting this value hello from parent instead of your value, whatever you have saved here. So we don't need to, I have just shown you as an example. So like that you can pass the values on the button click event, which button is available in the different component, right? Is it clear, Tarak?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, fine. So now can I move to another topic?
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So now we are going to cover today as a the native means the route. Okay, so I'm showing the some PPT with you. One second.
आपको मेरे दादू से अच्छी स्मेल आ रही है ना? नो से स्मेल देखो.
बंद कर दो. अरे यार ये बच्चे लोग जो है ना. Okay. Now move to the router. So React router. What is the React router? So basically, whenever you want to pass the, when you want to redirect the pages. So in the React, there are the pages is a component. So there is nothing else. This is only the component, and the React is a single page application basically, but it is work as a different page of the layouts inside of the component. So whenever you wants to redirect to one component to another component to show on the page, then we need to use the routers. So the React router is a standard library for the routing in the React. So we need to install the router basically. So it enables a navigation among views of various component in the React application, allows changing the browser URL. Okay. So whenever you are moving one component to another component, the URL is will also the change, and it is allowing you. If you are not using the router, then you cannot use the the browser change URL. To use the React router, need to install the React router in your application by using the below command. This is a npm I is the installation and a React router DOM. This is a command need to import. Then after that we need to import this in our file wherever you want to use the router. So basically, whenever you are using the router, always this is the best practice and always recommended. We need to add this our on top of our component. That is a app component right now. Okay, so in that case, we need to use the this variable, this library, and the main part of that library is a browser router, routes, and route. So these three are the very important. So what are these? React router components are the browser router. What is a browser router? So browser router is a router implementation that uses the HTML5 history API. So basically, HTML5 contains your history. Whenever the content is going to upload and on the in the DOM, then DOM contains all of the information about your application as a package. In this package, there is the HTML5 contains the history. So history is nothing. It is a simple API which is connecting with each other of your components. Okay, it is a parent component that is used to store all of the other components. Okay, this is the parent component contains all of the information about your child component. If you are not using any component in your parent component or the child component, which is the part of your parent component, then you cannot use that component in your application. Means, suppose you have a three component. The first component is your parent component, second component is your child component, but you are not using that component inside neither or the child or either your parent, then that component is useless. This is nothing use of that. Fine. The third is the routes. So it is the new component introduced in the version 6. So the React version 6 and above use the routes. Before that, we were use the switch. So switch was the use before the version of the 6. But after this, on the 6 or the after the 6, they have removed the switch and come to the routes. So what is the main disadvantage of the routes over the switch are because the relatives f and s. So basically, there are the switches contains the relation between the cases. So every case contains the information and there will be a default thing. But now in the roots, it has been removed and we don't need to control the values as a case. Instead of that, the routes are chosen based on the best match instead of the basing the traverse in the order. So it is showing you the best match. Whenever the best match is you are providing the match and that best match will be find out in your component DOM, then it will be redirect to that component. The route is the conditionally shown component that renders some UI when it path matches the current URL. So route is nothing. Route is the URL what you are passing in your the routes. The router will be redirect to that page or the component. Link is just like a anchor. So the link component is used to create a link to different routes. So it is the part of that where the link is showing on the page for the user. So it is a use as an anchor. So first we start this one, and here we have an application. Okay, in this application we need to install the route first. I'm going to stop this one. Okay, and npm I is React router DOM. So we need to install this one. The first, so it is not taking much more time. It is a very small package. Okay, it is installed. Now I am running here until it is running. I'm going to create my work out here. So in this src, I'm going to create a one more folder that is React router. Okay, and first of all, I need to move my app file, the main file. This is my app file. Okay, and here I am removing all of these things. Okay, and here I'm going to import the first, the router components, that is import, and we need to use the three things here from React router DOM. These three things are the browser, router, route, route, and one more thing is that is a link. So we need to use these things from this library. Here I'm going to make a here make I I am going to cover every of my components with these routers, so they can easily understand how what are the main things we need to make a router. So so I need to use the browser route. That is my parent thing we need to use. Okay, so I have to show you to one more thing. So here we have the browser route. We can make this name for this. We can make a alias name for that also, like that as router. Suppose I am using this name, that is a router, which is the browser router. So instead of this, we can use this one also. Whatever, it is up to you which concept you need to use, the directly the name of that or the alias name for that. Okay, so here first of all I need to make the links. Suppose I'm going to create 3 files in it. This one. Okay, I'm going to create a 3 files. One is a home, another is about, and third one is contact. Okay, I'm using the contact. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to create inside of about, and the same thing I'm going to, this is about page, and here go home, save. This is also saved. Now I'm going to create a links for that. So here I'm using the UL and li. Here is a link. That is a link. Whatever we have added here, it is showing to you. And here I'm using the home. That is home. Copy that, paste and paste. About, and here this is contact. After this creation of our UL, basically these are the same as an anchor link. Okay, it will show on the page. Now we need to define the routes. So in routes, it contains the route. Okay. In this route, we are going to define the path of that. So one second. We need to pass the path of that. So what the parameters is, that is the exact path, which to we need to define the path for the component and the element. The element name will contains the component. Okay, so we are using the component here, the home. One route has been created for the home. Like that, we need to convert the 3 routes more. One for my about, contact, and like that here about, and here contact, and make sure these components have imported here or not. About or contact is available here, but home is not. So let's see. That the home is available here or not, like that. Yes. Now you can see the 3 components have added here. So it is completed from here. Now I'm just going to save that and use this app, my first application here. Okay, so Now you can see the home, about, and contact is also showing here. If you are clicking the home, then you can say this is the home page. And if you are clicking on the about, then it is showing the about page, and contact is a contact page. So like that you can make a route for there. Whatever you want to uh, show, then you need to provide that component. It is very simple and easy. Have any question, query? This the designing is up to you. If you want to show in a div, then you can simply use the div. Suppose I'm using this div, and in this div I am passing this link.
There's one more
In that,
question posted, sir, by Tara.
yeah, 1 second. I'm just copying this one. Is contact, and here I'm going to make a style display flex. Removing this, and you can see this showing in the one row. Here, home, about, and contact. Okay, what's the question? How many routes can create in an app? You can create any number of the routes you can create, but the parent routes can be router can be same, the single one. Okay, you can create a multiple of the routes in child component also. There is no issue with that. Man, as man you as your application requirement. What is the meaning of as man as your application
No, I just
requirements?
replied to him. You can have
Okay.
ask me routers as you want, as your application demands. Yeah.
Yes, yes. You can create any number of routers for that.
Routes.
Okay,
No, it's not
so
about routes. I'm asking about router.
router, yes, you can create a router multiple, but you cannot make a router uh, inside the router. Okay, you can create the router, multiple router in your application. There is no issue with that. You can suppose you have any application which is on the top, it is showing the some tabs information, means the like that the links. Okay, so links are going to show the components. So like that, if you have a child component, you need to show the another child component inside of that, then you cannot do that, because the router will show whole of your application, whole of your DOM on that, and in that case the URL will be changed.
You want to say if we have two routers, when we go to other router, the URL will change, right?
They you can create the multiple routers, but you cannot create the router inside the router. You mean to say you cannot create the router inside of the router, means you cannot create the router inside of that component which is the part of that router.
Can you give an example with two routers?
I cannot create that, but it is a very understood thing that we have right now. We have a router. Okay, in this router we are using this component, the home. We cannot create the router inside that home. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying about inside the router.
No.
Outside the router only, if I want to create one more router, another app, kind of couple applications here, create a router here. Another app that other JS file, other components. If I want to create router and use it, how to use it?
Yes, you can. If you want to use the another router, and you are not using that component inside of this router, then you can create that router. There is no issue with that, because in that case you are opening the page or single page on that, and that is the out of that router. In that case you need to make that page as a main page. So main page will contain only the router.
What would
Understood?
be the way if we create other router? How to use that?
Mhm. No, you cannot create the another router. That's why
Okay.
I'm saying, if you are going to create another router, then you need to make a main page of that inside of your the index.js file instead
Oh,
of the
only
app.
you mean to say that it is sticky and only one router we can create for application.
Yes, yes, because it is going to create
Okay.
your whole of your the the page, that your URL. You can see that there is a contact, and this is about, and this is a contact.
Okay.
Okay,
So this is fine.
but you
This
can
is
see that.
completely top level. Suppose if I have a profile link there, okay. After creating on the profile link, if
Hmm.
it goes to other page and there other menu should come. In that scenario, how to do that?
So in that case, whenever you are going to the another page, in the another page will also contains this information, because this is a parent component. You need to say the React is a single page application. There is nothing else. Every component inside of it. So whenever you are going to log in, and after the login, the login is successful, then move to the another page. Then it will these links also will be show here.
Yes, you can use the normal
So
link.
you don't you
Tarak.
don't
Inside a component, you can use link and then route it to other page if you want to route.
Yes, these are the normal links, but
Yes,
you cannot redirect to another component without these router components, router things.
yeah. Once you declare the route, you can use this path to any other page or a component inside, depending on your need. Correct.
Yes, right.
So for application, only one router we would be having, right?
Yes.
So,
Main route, we have a one main router on my parent. Okay,
okay.
so if you want to change that, then you need to change your parent also.
Okay. Suppose consider a scenario where user
Mm-hmm.
module and module is there. Okay. And both will be logged in with one credential only.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I will provide a link where user in the admin module
Mm-hmm.
and admin user module. On click of
Mm-hmm.
that, it should do different menus for both the scenarios. User will be having different menu and admin will be having different menu. Can we achieve
Yeah,
that?
definitely. I got your question. Actually, you are saying that if the end user is coming, then these links should be different, and if admin is coming, then more links should be visible for the admin, right?
Yes.
So in this case, you need to make your logic here with the if else conditions. As I'm showing you, this is the nothing else. This is the simple HTML, and the links are the simple the links as a anchor. So here you need to pass on your logic. If the admin user is available, it is the logged in user is the admin user, then you can show more links or you can hide these things.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Now I got it.
Okay.
So what is that for user on
Okay.
router and router? We have to go that way. I thought.
Yes,
Yeah, now clear.
exactly. There is a actually browser router is a browser router. You can see that the name browser router. You are going to browse your page, and that is the router.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, you cannot. Yeah, so that's why. Okay, can I move to another topic?
Yes.
Okay, so here we have covered these things. Now the problem is most of the problem is coming. Suppose I am on a page and I want to redirect to another page on the button click event. How we can do that? In that case, we have a use navigate. Before the version 6, there was the history also. Okay, so there was a hook that is the use history. But now, after the version 6, we have the use navigation. So in the React route, version 6 provides a use navigation hook which returns a function that navigate to the path provided as a string argument. So here we need to create an object of the new use navigation, and navigate is a method of that, and we need to pass the name of our component to redirect them. Redirect to redirect to another page, we have also the navigate. So this in this we can provide on the function the condition basis also and navigate place to the another page. How we can do that? I am showing to you. Uh, I'm going to move to the my contact, and here I'm going to create a button, and in this button uh, go to home. I want here you can see that we have on the home button home link. I'm going to home page about page and contact is the contact page. But in this case, I'm going to create a button on the contact page, and on the button click event, I want to move to the home page. Move button. I'm going to create the name of that. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, I am going to create this button here, and the const this equals to this, this. Now I need to import the navigation. So for this navigation, import from where? From React around DOM. And here we are using the use navigate. Now I'm going to create an object of that const navigation equals to use navigate, and this is my method. Now I'm going to navigate navigation method here, and I'm passing very simple, that is a home. I'm saving that, and here you can see the go to home I have available here. I'm clicking on it and it is moved to the home page. With that you can move to any other page or component on the button click event. Here we have the function here. Instead of this function, if you want directly, then you can use this one approach. It is up to you. This is a on click. I'm using this one and this and this. Delete. Okay, and I'm saving that. Here, instead of the function, we are directly calling the content. Go to home. It will move to the home. So like that, you can um, pass your component from one component to another component. Now we have another thing, that is what we have seen as a navigate. Okay, so how the navigate will work? Let's see with the example. You can see the redirect to the another page. We have the navigate component. Okay, so navigate component you can directly use inside your HTML, the JSX file. Sorry, JSX HTML. Okay, so how you can do that? It is a very simple, in a single words. I'm showing to you. Suppose this is my. I'm going to remove this one. And here const. I'm going to create a flag, set flag, use state, that is false by default. Now I'm going to create a one method, const flag, sorry, check. No, flag, that's okay, nothing. Go to page. This is a function, and here I'm going to set flag value, that is true. Now I'm going to use the navigate. Here we have parameters to navigate, that is a replace and to. Okay, that is a replace to equals to, I need to pass the path. So here I'm going to pass the path about okay. So if I'm directly using this one and save that, then what will happen? Let's see. So this is a home page. Refreshing this, I'm going to contact, but whenever I clicked on the contact, it is come back to the about. because whenever the JSX code is going to redirect, then rendering, then the navigation is also navigate is also render and move that page to the about. So now I'm going to make a condition on it. So here I'm passing that flag is equal to true. Then it should be pass, otherwise should be null or blank. Should be blank. Should be blank. Okay. And I'm going to create a button here. One more button. That is on click. Go to page and closing that. Move page to about. Save. And now in this time, true is defined. True is undefined. True. Okay, this one. True. Okay, I'm going to refresh this page again. You can see the contact. This time it is not rendering. Now I'm going to click on the move to a page about, and it is going to the about page. So what is the main use of that? This is really very useful for our developers. So suppose any user is coming on the suppose you have a component. In this component, or suppose you have another page. Okay, whenever the end user is coming on the home page, then you want to show a desktop. Okay, means the dashboard for that. But whenever any other type of the users are coming, then you don't want to show that your desktop or the dashboard, but you want to show to another page directly here. Then in that case, you can check the user type on here, and according to you can set the flag, and you can make a redirection on it. So whenever the user that type of user is going to log in your application, then it is automatically redirect to another page. Okay, there are the one scenario. So the end user is never ever see the page which is the default rendering. Okay, the another scenario, you can use the button click event also with this navigate. So if you want to navigate the content from the one component to another component on the button click event, then you can use the navigate also. So we have the two type of the navigation. The navigation is the navigation. You can use the navigation part here, or you can use the navigate tag. It is up to you, whatever you are uh, comfortable with your application. Okay.
One last.
Yeah, please.
Can you tell more about those configurations like middleware, etc., that big applications use on React projects?
Yeah, I'm not understanding. Can you please repeat?
Some application I worked on actually used middlewares like
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what they're used for. Can you explain a little bit on
Actually,
that?
middlewares are the two type of middlewares here.
Okay.
Okay, so one is the Thunk and Saga. So
Okay.
basically, these are the only for the asynchronous calling of your API. Whatever we have covered in the last call, that is the async and wait. Okay,
Correct.
that
Correct.
is that is the async and wait. We are going to develop that. Okay, but Thunk and Saga is the third party tools. They can provide your accessibility to get the data on the async mode. So these are the middlewares. So middlewares are showing are you are passing the request to the middleware, and middleware calculating or executing your data as a asynchronous mode and get back to your data with your application.
Okay.
Okay, there is a nothing much we need to use that,
Yeah.
because basically whenever you are going to develop the new application, okay, so users are the developers, basically the developers are thinking about that we need to use the new technologies, the new thing is coming in the market, we need to use that, because they want to learn that actually it is usable or not. They are not looking on it. They are looking that we will use, then we can learn. That's why the architect is available in your project. The things are usable or not. So like that, if you are using the Redux, so it is depends on the your requirement. If you have a very small application, why you are going to the Redux? Why you are maintaining the third party tools in your application? You go with the props or the context API. If you have a large scale of application, then you need to use the Redux.
Okay.
Okay, like that, if you have a capability with to implement the async wait, and you have a not a large application, then you can simply use async wait. If you have a large application, a lot of the applications, the lot of the components, a lot of the API calling, then you can use the Thunk and Saga, the third party tools, that is a middleware.